Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Straight Fire Picks. Best bets for college football on Saturday, September 11th, 2021. My name is Steve and I'm going to have 4 picks here for you for the Saturday slate of college football that I think are great value bets. Guys, as always, just want to thank you all for your continued support on the channel. If you are new to the channel here today, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. We have a weekly subscriber goal here to hit 420 subscribers by the end of the week, so appreciate you guys' help out with that. Other than that, guys, getting into our results from last week, they were not good at all. It was probably my worst episode I think I've ever put out as far as results go. We went 0-4. I think that's one of the first times I've ever done that. The first one we had over 50.5 points in the Georgia-Clemson game, and this was a total misread. We had coming into the year, we had 2 top offenses that are squaring off, but also 2 top defenses, and the defense just won this day. No offensive touchdowns, and we had 1 defensive touchdown, so that ended up being 10-3 the final. Just absolutely disgusting. Wasn't even close. That one definitely hurt. And then, we had the Indiana money line versus Iowa coming into the season with Penix Jr. A lot of hype there with Indiana after the season they had last year. A lot of good things coming into the season. Like I said, with Michael Penix Jr., I was really excited about that. Had a lot of his targets back. Defense looked to be taking strides as well, and they got completely obliterated against Iowa, 34-6. So that was really disappointing. The next one we have is LSU minus 2.5, and I know a lot of people had this one. Big surprise again from UCLA. They're showing that they are for real. I mean, if they could beat an SEC team the way that they did, UCLA is definitely going to be a team to watch under Chip Kelly. So definitely going to keep an eye on them throughout the year. UCLA ended up winning that game 38-27, so that one was obviously painful. And then we had Miami plus 19.5 spread versus Alabama. Guys really thought Derek King would win this matchup with Bryce Young coming into the day. We didn't know what we were going to get out of Bryce Young, but now everybody knows who he is. Guy's probably going to be a Heisman candidate. He was absolutely terrific in his first start. And Derek King just didn't get it done. And Miami just, had a few drives though early in the second half where we could have gotten back into the money on this. Miami was down to the Alabama 1-yard line and got stuffed. A couple plays later, Bryce Young throws a 95-yard touchdown. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It was just so backbreaking on that front. So obviously missed that. So guys, 0-4. But we're going to get after it here. We're going to get this 4-0 for Saturday. We're going to get it done. I'm confident. We got some good picks here for you today. So getting right into our picks, guys. At number 1, we're going with the under 63.5 points in the Oregon-Ohio State game at minus 112 odds. So guys, we have 2 teams that are coming in that could really run the football and that can also give up a few yards on the ground. The reason I like that, obviously, is ball control, right? So when they run the football, if they keep it to 4, 5, 6, 7 yards of rush, we're going to eat a lot of time off the clock. And Oregon defensively coming in is a pretty solid defense as well, and I think Ohio State will also be improved also after last week. Then you got an Oregon offense. Honestly, it struggled against Fresno State, so I like that as well. Anthony Brown, the quarterback there for Oregon, threw just for 172 yards last week. It just didn't look great. He fumbled, and he turned the ball over. He didn't really look the part there for Oregon, especially against Fresno State. So I like that. The Oregon defense also forced 3 turnovers. So, Stroud for Ohio State, the quarterback, is going to also have to be on his game. Very aggressive defense there for Oregon. I expect Oregon's defense, honestly, to play pretty well. We're hoping we can get Thibodeau on the field here for this game to really feel great. He's college football's arguably best defender. He's going to be a top draft pick, so hoping he could play. He's on a walking boot, so I'm not really counting on him, but obviously hoping he could play. And as far as on the ground, guys, for ball control, Ohio State allowed 203 yards on the ground versus Minnesota last week. Ohio State also picked up 201 yards on the ground versus Minnesota last week, so we like that. 200 on both sides there, defense and offense for Ohio State, allowed and gained. And then for Oregon, very similar type of thing. Oregon had 192 yards on the ground last week versus Fresno State. That's kind of Anthony Brown's saving grace, is that, his running backs can get it done. But as far as Anthony Brown, he didn't really get it done in the passing game, obviously. So I like that, guys. I like that we can get some ball control. I like the Oregon defense, especially if Thibodeau plays. If Thibodeau plays, this one's, I think, a lock. But obviously, we're really hoping Thibodeau could play. But I think either way, I think we'll still be safe on this. 63.5 is just a little too much for a game like this. I don't see this being a complete shootout. Two inexperienced offenses. We don't have Justin Fields at quarterback for Ohio State. We got C.J. Stroud, who's still trying to find his groove, and then Anthony Brown, a transfer from Boston College. He's okay. He's not gonna be like Marcus Mariota, lighting it up. So I like that guy. So take it right there for your number one pick. Under 63.5 points in the Oregon-Ohio State game at minus 112 odds. Okay, and at number 2, we're rolling with the Syracuse Orange money line versus the Rutgers Scarlet Knights at plus 106 odds. So obviously I really like the plus odds here that we're getting, guys. Syracuse coming to the Dome for the home opener after an impressive 29-9 road victory over Ohio. And with Ohio, guys, Ohio is a decent mid-major school that has a decent football program. They always usually perform pretty well in the MAC. And that's something coming into the game, that was a 1-to-1 payout as far as for Syracuse. So they went in there and really put it on Ohio, particularly on the ground, racking up 285 yards rushing, led by Sean Tucker with 181 on the ground and a touchdown. And then Tommy DeVito also putting in 49 yards on the ground as well. So I like that. And they're playing against the Rutgers defense that last year, they were one of the worst teams in all the FBS as far as for giving up rushing yards on the ground. They gave up over 206 yards a game on the ground. So I like that. Rutgers isn't quite there yet, guys. Led by Greg Schiano. They're going to be a good football school again, but not quite yet. The over-under for Rutgers as far as wins this year is set to 4.5. So, people are not projecting great things out of Rutgers as far as in the win column. And this is going to be a tough one for him to get on the road at Syracuse, who has some experience. Like I said, with Tommy DeVito, third-year starter. He's not great. I would not rely on him. But I like the experience. I like that he can game manage. And I like Syracuse's defense as well. So I really like them to get this win at home, guys. Plus 106 odds. Take it right there. Syracuse money line versus Rutgers at plus 106 odds. Okay, guys, and at number 3, we're rolling with the Iowa Hawkeyes plus 4.5 spread versus Iowa State at minus 114 odds. Guys, we talked about it in our results section. Iowa was very impressive, particularly defensively against Indiana last week. Forced Penix Jr. into 3 interceptions and really just smothered that Indiana offense, who, I honestly had some expectations for the Indiana offense, and Iowa completely smothered them. That defense looks like it's in midseason form here early on, and you like that, obviously. They're not missing a beat. We talked about all the substitutions. Well, we talked about last week the substitutions that they had to make, replacing players on that defensive line. They had to replace, a few players on the defensive line and on that defense, and they're already off to a very fast start. So we like that. Iowa, last season they started 0-2. Since then, they have not lost. They are 7-0 since then. They've won the last 7 games. So we like that. Spencer Petras for Iowa is third last year in the Big Ten in passing yards and 4th in passing touchdowns, which you like that. He's a very capable quarterback to go along with that suffocating Iowa defense. And then, last week for Iowa State, guys, very disappointing performance at home. They won 16-10 over Northern Iowa, but definitely not what we expected to see coming out of Brock Purdy and the Iowa State team. And I think at the very least in this game is going to come down to a field goal. And I think Iowa, honestly, if I was really bold, I'd take the Iowa money line. But I like it to be close, guys. I like the 4.5 points. I think Iowa could definitely cover that. So take it right there, guys. Iowa Hawkeyes plus 4.5 spread versus Iowa State at minus 114 odds. Okay, and finally at number 4, we're rolling with the Michigan Wolverines minus 6.5 spread versus the Washington Huskies at minus 110 odds. So, guys, I don't know if you guys watched the Michigan game last week, but they smothered Western Michigan on offense, and Western Michigan's known for their offense. Now, I know they're a mid-major school, but still, LB, the quarterback for Western Michigan, was back. He was 3rd in the FBS in quarterback rating, and they completely just suffocated him as the game went on. Western Michigan got an early score, but after that, Michigan really settled in and really got to him. And, they were completely dominant in that 47-14 victory. Michigan had over 300 yards on the ground, led by McNamara, the quarterback. He was very good as well. Between the 2 Michigan quarterbacks, they brought a backup in later on. McCarthy was supposed to be really talented. He would probably take McNamara's job at some point. I mean, he could. Michigan quarterbacks are 13 out of 17, over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. So over 500 yards of total offense against Western Michigan. And then you put in that defensive performance as well. Held Ellaby, like I said, that quarterback to under 200 yards passing, so we like that. And then, on the other side for Washington really struggled last week. Very disappointing performance against Montana. They lost 13-7 at home. Dylan Morris, the quarterback for Washington, threw 3 INTs, 3 interceptions. So, obviously, they don't scare me at all. Obviously, coming in here to play Michigan. And Michigan, like I said, just rolling with a lot of momentum here, playing at home. I expect a big performance out of them again and a big win here over Washington. I think this is where Jim Harbaugh starts to break that streak as far as his record versus ranked teams. I think he gets it done here. Michigan gets it done. They cover the 6.5 spread. So take it right there, guys, for your number 4 pick. Michigan minus 6.5 spread versus Washington at minus 110 odds. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for our picks. If you guys enjoyed the content here today, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. Trying to reach our goal here of 420 subscribers here by the end of the week. So, again, appreciate your guys' help out with that. And, guys, just thank you all for your support on the channel. You guys absolutely rock. I love our community that we have here. And, yeah, guys, other than that, a special announcement. We have a special Monday Night Football live stream coming up on Monday, September 13th at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. So really looking forward to that, guys. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have some game audio, watch party going on. We'll be doing a little play-by-play during the game there. So really looking forward to that, guys. So hope to see you guys at that. And other than that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Until next time, peace.